Hi, this is John DiMartino, President of Liberty Benefit Advisors, specializing in innovative strategies and collaborative solutions for the New Jersey public sector. And this is a follow-up to our last video about the SEHBP update. So in the last update, we had mentioned that claims reserves were at an all-time low. We want to take 2 seconds to review with you exactly what that means. So think of claims reserves like a bank account. Out of that bank account, anytime somebody gets sick, that bank account pays their medical claims for them. Now, what happens when that bank account doesn't have any money is anybody's guess. So here's what's happened in the public sector. Claims should be at about 6 months worth of what the total expected claims are. So quick example, let's say you have $1 million in expected claims. You might want to keep about $500,000 on hand to pay out those claims. Over time, however, that hasn't always been the case. Those claims reserves have dwindled. And we're to the point now where, and right there, you can see that's where the SHBP is, 2 months worth of claims reserves left. And right here, that is the SEHBP with a startling 9 days worth of claims reserves left. The big question that I have to ask, and all of you should be asking as well, is what happens if there's a large claim or multiple large claims and they need to dip into that piggy bank? And when they do, they don't find any money. So what we expect, number one, to happen is potentially a very large increase, right? If you need more money in the claims reserves, charge more money and replenish that account. However, that's not always the case, and has always been the case with the SEHBP. It can be kind of tricky exactly what they do next. It wouldn't be unprecedented for them to do one of the next 2 things. First thing, cut the benefits. This has happened before. It happens in some small way every year. They kind of trim the fat around the edges. But what we're looking at now is similar to when we moved from the indemnity plan over to the direct 10. We're looking at gardening with a chainsaw instead of a pair of scissors. So be on the lookout for a large change in benefits. And the third thing, and I'm even a little worried about saying this, is borrowing from the pension plan. But as all of you are probably way too aware, that's like borrowing from a broken piggy bank. There's not exactly a whole lot you can reach in and take out. Now, there are a few things that every business administrator should be doing right now. First things first, review your budget. If you get an increase above and beyond the 12 to 15% that you may have budgeted for, are you able to take funds from anywhere else and reallocate them? If you are, that may be a pretty strong strategy. If you can't and your budget is super tight, you may have to be one of the people who needs to have a SEHBP exit strategy. And what I mean by that is you may want to leave the SEHBP in order to procure insurance through the private market. That's either a carrier directly or one of the many consortiums that exist in the marketplace. And by doing this, your timetable would be right around the end of August or early September when the state plan releases its renewal. It's going to take you about 60 days to get your claims experience from the SEHBP, and then from there you'll be able to determine with the help of one of your broker consultants exactly what your options are. The third thing, and by far one of the most interesting, is checking for SEHBP equivalent language in your CBA. And the reason I bring this up is everyone's enjoyed seeing the love story between the union and the SEHBP unfold over the years. However, much like this love story, they're in troubled water. It seems as though they may be tied to a sinking ship. And if that's the case, your negotiations just got a lot easier. If the state plan goes ahead and reduces the benefits for you, there's not a whole lot you're going to have to do in order to decrease the tax burden on the taxpayers in the next year or so. Now, on a more serious note, what we're seeing here is unprecedented in any marketplace. We're seeing a failing pension system. We're seeing a state-run consortium that is almost on its last limb. And if we don't get ahead of this, there could be bigger problems down the line. I have the most pride in being able to represent a public sector that is amongst the best in the nation, routinely ranked 1 or ranked number 2. And my biggest fear is that these declines in pension and benefits are going to lead to a brain drain where the talent seeps out of New Jersey and goes into some of the states in Pennsylvania or New York. So what we can do is we can work together to try and decrease the amount of liability that the taxpayers have and that the employees have to pay out of their own pocket for these benefits. So I'm going to be making a lot more videos similar to this. If you'd like to stay up to date on them, you can subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can always connect with me on Facebook or LinkedIn. Or you can visit me at my website at www.lbanj.com. Looking forward to meeting and hearing from all of you. Take care.